This week in Louisiana agriculture.
The House passed a farm bill, so what's the delay and why could the whole farm bill be in jeopardy? I'm Avery Davidson with that story ahead.
I'm A.J. Sabine in Morehouse Parish, and I'll show you why farming is fundamental at the annual Morehouse Parish Black Farmer Field Day.
And what does the future hold for LSU under the leadership of Dr. F. King Alexander? The new president and chancellor joins us in studio to share his plans for the state's flagship university. Hello everyone, I'm Michael Dana. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's program. Despite approving a farm bill dealing only with commodity programs, the leadership of the U.S. House has yet to appoint conferees to a conference committee to iron out the differences between the House and Senate versions of the bill. The reason for the delay? Speaker John Boehner wants the House to pass its version of the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, the funding source for food stamps, before appointing the conferees. This week in Louisiana Agriculture's Avery Davidson now shows us why that could mean a farm bill will not be in place before the current extension expires on September 30th.
Louisiana rice farmers were sure this would be the last year in which they received direct and counter-cyclical payments, but now they're not so sure. Despite the U.S. House of Representatives passing a farm bill, there's yet another delay. You may recall when the House first took up the farm bill in late June, the bill included $80 billion a year for food stamps and $20 billion a year for farm programs. Here's how Louisiana's delegation voted. Congressman Boustany, Alexander, and Cassidy for the bill, and Congressman Scalise, Richmond, and Fleming against. The bill failed.
First time, I think, in history, a farm bill hasn't passed. They thought they had the votes, and they didn't.
However, once the House split the farm programs away from the nutrition title, the bill passed with Louisiana's congressmen voting along party lines, Republicans for and the lone Democrat against. Despite that movement and Senate passage of its farm bill, the bill has yet to go into conference committee.
The reason they split them up so they could move forward and get a bill to conference is now being held up due to the fact that the House leadership would like to try to get a nutrition title passed so it can go to the very same conference. So the very thing that they did to try to move the process forward is now hung up waiting on the nutrition title.
We have 2 weeks left, right, before the August recess, and only about a week in September. Now, if we lose another week, then what's probably going to happen is that there will be probably just a further extension of the current farm bill. But what happens, as you've seen, when we've been extending it, the amount of money appropriated to fund it has been decreasing. Louisiana
Farm Bureau Federation Governmental Affairs Director Kyle McCann is not as sure there will be another extension.
It is possible, but as this farm bill has proven out, anything's possible with this process and the politics that are going on right now. It's doubtful, though.
Should the current farm bill extension expire on September 30th, the 1938 and 1949 farm bills and parity pricing would go into effect. That would inject even more instability into the markets, and those Louisiana rice farmers would face even more uncertainty. In Baton Rouge, I'm Avery Davidson for This Week in Louisiana Agriculture.
As Avery said, if President Barack Obama does not sign a new farm bill into law by September 30th, farm programs would fall back under the 1938 and 1949 permanent farm bills. Coming up in his bottom line, Neil Melanson will tell us what that would mean for you, the consumer, and the prices you'll likely pay for food at the grocery store.